team and indeed the Lebanon team. The match officials, they're waiting to get the cue as well. And isn't that lovely to see the two coaches, Bert van Marwijk, just meeting Ivan Hasek, the Lebanon coach, newly appointed to his role. And there aren't many people above Hasek in terms of knowledge of football, not only in this country, but also in this region. Extensive coaching experience in the Middle East. He actually won the league here in the UAE in their first year of professionalism in this country. That was with the Al Ali club back in 2009. Second former Czech international. And look at that. Fantastic to see. Fans getting excited, and why not? Because there's a place in Qatar 2022 at stake. Not a full house by any stretch of the imagination. The fans who are in here tonight, they will make plenty of noise. UAE making their way out onto the pitch in their traditional white strip, and they're followed by the team from Lebanon. Terrific noise by both sets of supporters. And we're going to have the national anthems. First national anthem you'll hear is that of the visitors, Lebanon. Lebanon national anthem, to be followed by the national anthem of our hosts for this match, the United Arab Emirates. Fantastic. Terrific atmosphere in here this evening. Let's have a look at the teams. And first of all, the UAE. They're on a run of 6 successive wins, unbeaten in 7. And they include Ali Mabkout, the AFC World Cup qualifiers top scorer, the number 7 with 11 goals. He was the top scorer in the UAE League last season with 25 goals. All players are UAE based, and 4 players in the starting lineup. That's Mabkout, goalkeeper Ali Kashif, defender Walid Abbas and Majid Hassan, played in the Gulf Cup success in Bahrain in 2013. UAE season, the domestic season, 2 games old already. Here's Ali Mabkut, real talismanic figure, the number 7 for the UAE, 30 years of age now. And it's time for the captains to exchange pendants, handshakes, and the toss of the coin. There's confirmation of our match officials. The referee for this evening is Ma Ning, and the whole plane control team, including VAR, is from China. Captain for Lebanon, Hassan Martouk. I mentioned Ali Mabkut as a talisman at number 7, and you can say the same about Hassan Martouk as well, captaining the side. Martouk has actually played for 3 clubs here in the UAE, and he's playing after having tested positive for COVID last month. He's recovered and recovered quickly. 5 of the starting 11 play overseas. That's the brothers Felix and Alex Melki, Nada Mata, Basil Girardi, and Joan Umari. They're under that new head coach, Ivan Hasek, the ex-Czech Republic international. And their season is yet to start at home. Acknowledging the Lebanon fans who've come in here this evening, and they've come in their numbers. The last time these two sides met in a World Cup qualifier here in the UAE was way back in 2012. The UAE won that match by 4 goals to 2, but it was Lebanon who progressed into the next stage of the competition. So it's going to be the UAE who are going to get us underway in their white strip. And they're playing from right to left on your screens. UAE have certainly got a better record in the head-to-head. They each won a game apiece in World Cup qualifiers, but overall it's played 12, UAE 7, Lebanon 1, and 4 draws. Conditions pretty decent at this time of year in this part of the world. It's always hot, it's always humid in August, September in the Middle East. But starting relatively late in the evening, it's 9:15 UAE time, allows for the sting of the heat to go out of the day. Here's an opportunity now on the left-hand side. There's Hassan Saad on that far side. Here he is, number 11, plays for the Safa club in Lebanon. Man going down there was Fabio De Lima, who's on his home ground this evening, the number 15 for the UAE. One of 2 players in this UAE starting lineup who play their football here at the Zabil Stadium. Early touch for Ali Kashif. Shaheen Abdul Rahman. Long clearance, tidied up by Joan Umari. Plays his football for FC Tokyo in Japan. It's a pretty good turn there by Basil Girardi, brought down by Shaheen Abdul Rahman. It's Bert van Marwijk. So an early opportunity for Lebanon to get the ball into the danger area. Nada Mata going across to take this dead ball situation. Part of the Asian Cup squad in 2019. Whips it in, too deep though, overcooked that cross. Here's Ivan Hasek. Succeeded Jamal Taha, who oversaw the final 3 matches of round 2 of qualification. Going back to his keeper, Kashif going long. One in the air by Abbas Assi. And again, Walid Abbas goes back to Ali Kashif. Lovely playing surface here at the Zabil Stadium. It was watered about 90 minutes before kick-off. Happy to knock the ball around in their own half in these early stages, the UAE. Long ball, Keo Canedo can't get on the end of it. Alex Melki forward. Azul Girardi inside, good save Ali Kashif. Oh, he had to get down so quickly there. It was that danger man, Hassan Martouk, with the shot. Lovely ball inside, good run from Martouk. And thankfully, from a UAE perspective, they had a man on hand to put it behind for the corner. It was actually Fabio de Lima. Easy enough for Ali Kashif. And all the way back to Mostafa Mata. First touch for him of the evening. Mohamed Haider down the wing. The flag's up on this near side below our commentary position. And we saw Bert van Marwijk sitting down in the dugout at first. He's on his feet now, they're on the edge of his technical area. Mahmoud Khamis with the throw, playing at left back this evening. Walid Abbas out to the far side. Banda Alababy on that far side for the UAE. Play switched again. Coming into this match off the back of training camp in Serbia, as well as the first 2 rounds of action. Kasim El Zain with the foul on Fabio de Lima. Bert van Marwijk, in his pre-match comments, announced himself very satisfied with the preparation of his side. Lima trying to burst clear. Brazilian-born. Awarded UAE citizenship in February of last year. 2 naturalised players in the UAE lineup. De Lima and also Keo Canedo. Both of them Brazilian-born. Also, striker Sebastian Tagliabue from Argentina is on the bench. Long ball forward, cut out by Walid Abbas. Azul Girardi was the man making the run. Majid Hassan gets it back, exchanges passes with Mahmoud Khamis. Lebanon happy to let the UAE knocked the ball around on the edge of their area. Kamis again. Patient stuff this by the UAE. Majid Hassan. Touch for him, for the Shabab Al Ali player. Shaheen Abdul Rahman. Bandar Al-Ababi trying to burst forward. Nice stuff, little slip there by Ali Mabkut. The UAE retained possession. Mabkut out to this near side. Mahmoud Kamis in. Mabkut just got the ball tracked under his right foot. Early sight of goal for the goal scorer extraordinaire. That was a really incisive move there by the home team. Lovely movement from Mabkut, little give and go. Mahmoud Kamis was absolutely aware of where Mabkut was going to be. But couldn't get the ball out from under his feet. Early warning for Lebanon of the dangers that Mabkut offers. Back header by Bandar Al-Ababi puts his side in a bit of trouble. No foul as Hassan Saad lost the ball under challenge. Just saw there Felix Melki. Here is Hassan Saad. Still feeling the effects of that clash. Referee just going over to make sure that he's okay. This was that incident. He slipped as well, you can see. And he was dispossessed by Ali Salmin. Completely inadvertent clash there. The referee got that one spot on. Ivan Hasek is going to be pretty pleased with what he's seen from his team so far. Good competitive stuff in the middle of the pitch. One back for the UAE though by Abdullah Hamad. And a good run on that far side by Dalima. Inside to Abdullah Hamad, who goes down. He feels he was fouled. Take a look at it from this angle. Well, there was definite contact there, wasn't there? But on we go. It's Alex Melki who made the challenge on Abdullah Hamad. Hamid, just 19 years of age, slight of frame, celebrate his 20th birthday in a couple of weeks' time on the 18th of September. Big opportunity for him this evening. He was twice an unused substitute in the World Cup qualifying matches in June. Caio Canedo. 6 years here for Al Wasl before moving to Al Ain in Abu Dhabi. Switch of play to the far side by Ali Mabkut, who's come deep to receive. It's a lovely flick to Abdullah Hamid by Fabio de Lima. Bandar Al-Ababi. knocking the ball around confidently at this stage. The UAE happy to be patient. It's possible to argue there's more pressure on the UAE here than on Lebanon. All of Lebanon's first 4 matches, 10 they play, are at home. Canedo felt he was barged over there, nothing given by the referee. It's Lebanon away for their first 4 matches. The UAE, though, home for 3 of their first 4. Cross comes in, and it's easy enough for Mustafa Mata. Banda Alababy doing good work there to dig that cross out. He's a real live wire, the Al Ain player. Looking very busy on that right-hand side already. From a UAE perspective, you would say their first 3 matches at home are absolutely crucial. If they can get off to a decent start in those home matches, and they're by no means easy games. None of the games really are easy at this stage of the qualifying schedule. They've got Lebanon at home this evening, and then their next 2 home games are against Iran and Iraq in the space of 5 days in October. Sandwiched in between all those is a game against Syria in Amman in Jordan. It's coming up in 5 days' time. So you would reckon the UAE will have a pretty good idea of how they stand in the qualifying process after those opening 4 matches. It's overcooked over the head of De Lima. Frustration for him. Shaheen Abdul Rahman just over-egging that pass. Lebanon's first 4 matches after this. In 5 days' time, they're against South Korea, then Iraq and Syria in October. So 5 of their last 6 games are at home. If they can pick up some points early on, they'll be in a pretty good position. De Lima, astonished there that that challenge wasn't penalised a little bit more severely by the referee, Hassan Al Zain. You could see the studs were up there. Yellow card given, though, by the referee. Maheng. Walid Abbas. Mahmoud Khamis. Just over 15 minutes gone then. We've seen an opportunity at each end. Hassan Martouk having an angled shot saved by Ali Kashif. And Ali Mabkoud, a shot of his own off target at the other. 12 sides left in these AFC Asian qualifiers, the road to Qatar. In Group A, we've got not only these 2 sides, but also Iran, Iraq, South Korea, and Syria. And in Group B, Australia, China, Japan, Oman, Saudi Arabia, and Vietnam. Picked up on that far side now by Hassan Saud, who's been busy early on. Joan Omari, long ball forward, looking for his captain, overcooks it. Omari plays his football in Japan these days. She had 3 seasons with Al Nassr here in the UAE. And 41 matches, and actually a runners-up medal in the President's Cup. It's the UAE's knockout competition. Oh, Mabkoud's through, gets the shot in across the face of goal. You'll be disappointed with that, Ali Mabkoud, that he didn't hit the target. De Lima on that right-hand side, lively. Lovely pass from him. And Mabkut, the angle was becoming more and more acute. The inside of his right foot, flashing it across the face of goal. Well, the warning flags are out for Lebanon. That's twice Ali Mabkut has had a sight of goal. With a player of his ability, you really can't afford to keep giving him those opportunities. Down goes Mohamed Haider. Extravagant fall and crying out in front of the Lebanon bench. Hasek on his feet, not too impressed with the challenge. Let's have a look at it from this angle. You can see that Mahmoud Khamis didn't win the ball. It's a little fortunate to get away with that challenge. That was Bert van Marwijk's reaction. Marwijk, second spell as UAE coach. His first was too successful from March to December 2019, but after the UAE F.A. tried to slot in a couple of coaches in his stead, he switched back to the Dutchman, and they've been rewarded since he's returned. The UAE played 7, won 6, drawn 1. Mustafa Mata plays for the Al Ahed club in Lebanon. Shot from distance by Keo Canedo, who then wins the header from the ricochet. Abdullah Hamid just feeling he was just challenged unfairly, forcing him to give that throw-in away. More fairness to the referee so far. Marning to let the game flow. Bert van Marwijk, though, not too impressed with the fact that Assi has probably got about 5 or 10 metres up the touchline with that throw-in. On that far side, Kassim El Zain. Melki, year older than his brother Felix. Melki again plays his football in the second division in Qatar. Grandfather of the two Melki boys from Lebanon. Those are two of their father's sisters. Foul by Shaheen Abdul Rahman. Free giving some strong words. Again, no card shown. And on the receiving end of that challenge, Basil Girardi. Girardi saying, I've been fouled twice, where's the card? Well, nothing doing so far from our official. We're just about halfway through this first half. This is a good opportunity for Lebanon. 35, 40 metres from goal. Fairly central position. organising his wall. Hassan Martouk over the ball. Shot from distance. He's taken a deflection. And that should be a corner. Lebanon players absolutely certain it should be a corner. In fact, that's a pretty good decision by the referee. He spotted that the ball came off Felix Melki last. Excellent work from the official. He had the benefit of the replay, he didn't. VAR is in operation this evening. Our VAR official is Fu Ming. As I mentioned at the outset, all the officials this evening from China. Banda Alababy going down under challenge. Misplaced pass from Mahmoud Khamis. Long ball forward by Omari. Too long for Hassan Saad. All the sides in this third round of World Cup qualification have, by dint of reaching this stage, advanced to the 2023 Asian Cup. Mabkoud has gone deep to receive. Lima finds Banda Alababy, cut out by Omari. First time that the Al-Ain player has got away down that right-hand side. And Ali Salmin earns a corner for the UAE. Felix Melki. Something in the eye, perhaps, of Mustafa Mata. He's okay now, though. Corner on the far side. Fabio de Lima in charge of it. Whipped in right-footed, and Mata decides to punch. There's no pressure on him. The punch has been an effective one because there's a break on now for Lebanon. Good run by Mohamed Haider. Snuffed out in the end by the pace of Ali Salmin. On his home ground, the 26-year-old scored a couple of goals for the UAE as well, and both here at the Zabeel Stadium. One of them in the final crucial qualifier in the last round against Vietnam, which was a 3-2 win. It was a nervy affair in the end for the UAE. They were 3-0 up with 5 minutes to go. Melki conceding the throw. Mahmoud Khamis turning one way. Flick inside to Abdullah Hamid. Play on, says the referee. Hassan Martouk was the meat in a UAE sandwich. And happy to let the game flow is Ma Ning. Mahmoud Khamis, who's seeing a lot of the ball on this left-hand side. Mentioned both these teams, and indeed all 12 teams in this third round of qualifying have qualified for the Asian Cup, the AFC Asian Cup. That tournament's due to be held in China in June and July of 2023. Misplaced pass from Alababy. Abdullah Hamid not able to keep that in play. You can see the players' shirts sticking to them. humid out there, even though we're over the worst of the summer weather now in this part of the world. Lebanon, the lowest ranked in the FIFA rankings of the teams remaining in this AFC World Cup qualifying campaign. They're ranked 98th. UAE, by contrast, ranked 68th. And Al-Baby towards the back post. Flapped out a little bit by Mata, but he got the important touch. Caio Canedo was there. That'll be a corner. Touch and go as to whether he was onside. He had eyes for the ball. So did Mata. An important contribution there on the stretch. Just did enough to get the ball away from the UAE number 11. Mabkout, the goal poacher. Is this his opportunity? Corner on this near side as we approach the half-hour mark. Left for De Lima, left-footed, driven into the near post. Lebanon can break. Pushed long by Haider. Too long though. No way that Hassan Saad could get on the end of that. And the referee allowing the players to have a water break. As I've mentioned, still very hot and humid as we approach the half-hour mark. An opportunity for both coaches, both sets of coaching staff, just to get some information to their players about what they've seen so far. Lebanon will be encouraged though. That man Hassan Mabkout, who you just saw a moment ago, had their best opportunity early on, which was well saved by Ali Kashif. Abdullah Hamed, who's been lively. Alex Melki, important contributions from him down the right-hand side in defence. And Mabkout, 2 opportunities so far, and he hasn't hit the target with either. A bit of frustration, perhaps, for Bert van Marwijk. But, patience, the name of the game here. The truth of the matter is that you can't qualify for Qatar this evening, but you can certainly do yourselves all manner of harm if you let this campaign get off to a poor start. UAE fans making plenty of noise. Refreshments being thrown to these spectators at the back of the terraces there. Hassan Mabkout, as captain of the Lebanon side, just making his point to Marning, the referee. Mentioned that Hassan Mabkout has recovered from COVID in order to play in this match. We just saw Caio Canedo 12 months ago. He was in the same boat. Last training camp for the UAE. De Lima through to Mabkout, round the keeper. Oh, he's hit the post. And then apologises to De Lima. Could he have squared the ball? Let's have another look. Just onside, a well-timed run. Goes round the keeper. Again, just got the ball under his feet. It was a really acute angle, wasn't it? Whether he could have pulled it back, I'm not sure, but goodness me, you can't get much closer than that, as those spectators testify. So 3 opportunities now for Mabkout. He hasn't taken any of them. And so we're still all locked up. run, though, beautifully timed. Thrown on the far side for Lebanon. Qasim El Zain will take it. Spent last season on loan to Kuwaiti club Al Nasser. His parent club is Nejma in Lebanon. Stefan Mata, almost got the ball tangled under his feet. In the end, did well to get away from Mabkut. Good press this from the UAE. Felix Melki put under pressure, concedes the throw. Banda Alababy bursting forward again, an attempted flick from Mabkut. Didn't get the contact that he wanted, if at all. It may have brushed his hair, and Mata flapped the ball away. The pressure is intensifying here from the UAE. They're asking the questions. Banda Alababy again. Again he gets the cross in. Good strong header away from Alex Melki. Back come the UAE again, and it's flashed across the face of goal. Frustration for Abdullah Hamid. He had a little bit of time to measure his shot there. And Marvik will be more and more impressed, more and more happy with what he's seeing from his team. After a measured start, they really are getting on the front foot now. I mentioned that Lebanon 98th in the FIFA rankings, UAE 68th of the sides remaining in this AFC FIFA World Cup qualifier. Two groups, the highest ranked team remaining is Japan, 24th. In this group, the highest ranked side is Iran, 26th in those FIFA rankings. The Republic South Korea, 36th. UAE 68th, Iraq 70, Syria 80, and Lebanon 98. Qasim El Zain checks back. Mari. Alex Melki. And again. Move forward. Sassi slipping the ball inside. Walid Abbas getting it back to his keeper. Mohamed Haider. Basil Girardi. Haider again. Felix Melki. Omari. Just to play keep ball for a little while. Lebanon just taking the sting out of things. The UAE had a very nice period. Starting to impose themselves. Down goes Haider, not for the first time. Extravagantly. Let's see why. Clumsy challenge, you have to say, by Abdullah Hamid. He says he's won the ball. We might see the first booking here this evening. He's getting a talking to here. Well, he is. It's the closest we've come to a goal so far. Great run from Ali Mabkut. ball, that as well, from Lima, wasn't it? You see again, just got the ball stuck under his feet, Ali Mabcook. Whilst you were watching that replay, the closest we've come to a goal thus far. The referee, Marning, had a long conversation with Abdullah Hamid for that challenge, but he didn't book him. And I think that's why, looking at that replay, Mohamed Haider stayed down for as long as he has. It wasn't necessarily the challenge itself that caused him the discomfort. You'll probably just see in that last replay that I think he was just caught in the face. The follow-through of Abdullah Hamid's boot. That might be the issue as far as Mohamed Haider was and is concerned. He's had to go off the pitch for a little bit of additional treatment, and it is going to be a free kick to Lebanon. The free kick is going to be taken by Nada Mata, 29-year-old, made his international debut way back in 2012. Against Iraq. Comfortably won by the UAE to Lima, twisting and turning on that far side. Majid Hassan. Lovely turn from Keo Canedo, bursting forward, the number 11. It's a terrific run, this. He's won a corner, just lost control of the ball in the area. Still had the quality and the ability to use the outside of his right foot to try and get that cross in. Look at that for a turn, away from Abbas Sassi. As he couldn't get back. Ball just got away from him, but still did really well to try and get that cross over, and it needed Mustafa Mata to make the save. So a third corner of this half for the UAE. Can they make something of it? Flicked and good save. At the near post, it was Shaheen Abdul Rahman. Improvised attempt on goal. Mustafa Mata was aware of it. Got down quickly, didn't he? Very clever little cute effort, really, from Shaheen, the Sharjah player. Back come the UAE. They really are knocking on the door now, aren't they? Again, Ala Baby was the outlet on that far side. Keo Canedo, Mahmoud Khamis, Abdullah Hamid gets the ball back. Khamis has made the run, away by Alex Melki. Keo Canedo to the back post, De Lima loses out. Tidied up neatly by the Lebanon defence. Majid Hassan, absolutely certain that that ball had come off a Lebanon player last. Let's have a look. Difficult to see there whether Qasim El Zain just got a little touch on it. Majid Hassan felt that he had. Hassan, who's scored one of the most spectacular goals this season in the UAE domestic league, the opening round against the newly promoted club Emirates. Absolute screamer from outside the area. If we get on the score sheet this evening, he's set an attack in train again now on that far side. De Lima. Look at the possession statistics there, the UAE bossing things. Not a goal to show for it as yet, though. Keo goes down rather softly. The referee convinced that it was a free kick. Mohamed Haider not too impressed. Let's have another look here. Well, it was a clumsy challenge, wasn't it, by Abbas Assi. Got his leg across Caio Canedo and also used his left arm. So it's a free kick now in a really dangerous position. Just outside the area. Two players in the wall for Lebanon. Banda Alababy is going to take the free kick on this near side. He's right-footed predominantly, so he'll whip it in at pace. Referee making sure the wall is 10 yards. Also explaining to them that if they get their hands up, he's going to penalise them. Sort of pushing and shoving around the edge of the 6-yard box. Bit ambitious that from Banda. So many players forward. Maybe he would have been better advised to just get the ball into the danger area, but, well, I guess that's an expression of the confidence that he feels. Unfortunately, that confidence was misplaced. It's just about 30 seconds of normal time remaining. Have our eyes peeled below our commentary position for the fourth official, Zhang Li, and his board to indicate minimum number of minutes to be added on at the end of this first half. Long ball, and well shepherded out by Walid Abbas, doing the defensive work, getting there in front of Hassan Martouk, who will take the throw-in. Opportunity for a counter-punch here, right at the end of this first half from Lebanon. Minimum of 4 minutes to be played. So time enough for one of these two sides to get on the score sheet. It's a lovely ball from Alex Malki forward, but in the end, good possession in the final third is squandered by Lebanon. Ali Kashif, league champion with Al Jazeera last term. Two players for Jazeera in this starting lineup, along with Ali Mabkut. Al Jazeera, the winners of the UAE Domestic League in 2020-21. Shabab Al Ali won a treble of cups. Push there on Basil Girardi. Walid Abbas, the man penalised. Mentioned that Shabab Al Ali won that treble of cups, the Super Cup, the League Cup, the Arabian Gulf Cup, and also the President's Cup. And for good measure, they won the Under-21 competition as well. Banda Alababy, space to burst forward, trying to get away from Felix Melki. Whip the ball in at pace. Oh, it's over the top. Best chance of the first half. And Caio Canedo can't finish it. Banda Alababy, that really was a delightful ball, inviting a player to come onto it. And that's exactly what Caio Canedo did. Perhaps it needed the left foot rather than the right. We've seen already that he prefers the right. Went with the right and couldn't keep it down. Flying in at pace, so difficult for him because of the pace at which he was approaching that ball. There was no time to settle, but that really was a gilt-edged opportunity, and he knew it. It really would have sent the UAE into the dressing room at the end of the first period in a very joyous mood, as it is. We're still locked up. So the UAE have had the better opportunities. 3 chances for Mabkut, hitting the post with one of them from an acute angle, and that one from Keo Canedo. Will they rue those missed opportunities in the final analysis? Oh, it's a good through ball. An appeal for a penalty, nothing given. Hassan Saad going down. Too many protestations from the Lebanon players. They're getting on with things. Alarming moment for the hosts, though, at the back end of this first half. Abdullah Hamid to this near side. Mahmoud Khamis, lovely ball in. Keo Canedo going down in the penalty area. Let's have a look at that penalty appeal. Well, there was certainly contact there, wasn't there? Shaheen Abdul Rahman, you can see, made contact with Hassan Saad. At the other end, Keo Canedo was flying in as well. You can't say our referee this evening hasn't allowed the match to flow. He's certainly done that. Right at the end of this first half, the UAE have a corner. Headed away by Felix Melki, and that is the end of the first 45 minutes of this qualifying campaign, the 3rd round of qualifying for both these teams, and we're all locked up. Chances for the UAE, 3 for Mabkut and 1 for Keo Canedo, but they couldn't convert them. The closest they've come, Mabkut hitting a post from an acute angle. As for Lebanon, it's been hard work for them, but Hassan Martouk has looked lively up front and forced a save from Ali Kashif. So, the end of the first half. It's still all to play for in this opening match. It's the UAE 0, Lebanon 0. Side. Ali Salmi earns a corner for the UAE side. A well-timed run. Goes round the keeper. Again, just got the ball under his feet. It was a really acute angle. And Marvin will be more and more impressed, more and more happy with what he's seeing from his team. welcome back to the Zabil Stadium in Dubai, where we await the players and the match officials for the start of this second half in this AFC World Cup qualifier, the road to Qatar 2022. The match between the UAE in white and Lebanon in red. 0-0 at half-time. The UAE having the better of things. A couple of really good opportunities which they weren't able to take advantage of. Will they live to regret those spurned chances, I wonder? Humid, hot conditions, as you'd expect in this part of the world at this time of year. So it'll be interesting to see how the two coaches, Bert van Marwijk and Ivan Hasek, use their substitutes. We had a water break after half an hour. Majid Hassan on the right, Ali Kashif on the left. Fabio de Lima, who produced one gorgeous ball for Ali Mabkout to run onto. Now referee Ma Ning of China just having a chat with Hassan Saad. I wonder if that's got anything to do with the challenge on Hassan Saad at the back end of the first half, when he felt that he was just pushed in the back by Walid Abbas. Nothing was given. No substitutes made at half-time. And the UAE fans will do their best to get behind their team. As I mentioned in the first half, 3 of their first 4 matches of the 10 they will play in this group stage are at home, so they really need to take advantage of that situation, get some points on the board early on, put pressure on the other teams. Lebanon, their first 4 matches are away, and they get us underway in this second half. Playing from right to left on your screens, in the red strip, the Cedars. It's the Cedars against the Whites. And straight away, Keo Canedo can break. Gets the ball forward. Mabkout tried to push it back in return. Dispossessed. Mohamed Haider on that far side. He loses out. Frantic stuff early on before Nada Mata gets the ball calmly back to Jonah Mari. Hassan Martouk harassed by Shaheen Abdul Rahman. These two sides reaching round 3 of the qualification process. Lebanon finishing runners-up in Group H behind South Korea. And the UAE winning Group G. Martouk over the top. Snap effort from him with the inside of his right foot. Just got half a yard of space. Through ball from Mohamed Haider. It's the sort of space that Hassan Martouk needs, really. Top scorer in the Lebanon League. Top flight there last season with 14 goals and 7 assists as well in 16 matches. Nada Mata. And he gets possession again, up against Mahmoud Khamis. Down goes Mohammed Haider again, not for the first time this evening. And Abdullah Hamid is the man making the challenge. I could have sworn that I saw the referee just speaking to Abdullah Hamid in the first half, just saying, no more challenges, or you'll go in my book. Get shown a yellow card. Well, there's no card there. One opportunity for Martouk. He's behind the defence, and at his near post. Not all that convincing. Ali Kashif makes the save. Oh, good turn. Terrific turn from Keo Canedo, but he couldn't take advantage of it. Alex Melki, back to his keeper. Mustafa Mata, who was by far the busier of the two keepers in that first half. De Lima. Forward to Mabkout. Felix Melki with the challenge, and that is the first yellow card. Majid Hassan, the man going down. So the challenges have been flying in the first half. But Felix Melki shown a card for this. Slow motion replays always make it look a little bit worse than it is, but he was late there. Majid Hassan just nicking the ball away from him. So the first booking of the evening, and it goes the way of Lebanon. Free kick then to the UAE in a central position. Fabio De Lima is over the ball. He's got 5 goals in this World Cup qualifying campaign, all at this venue. He's an Al Wasl player as well, so this is his home stadium. In fact, all his UAE goals, all 6 of them, have come here at the Zabil. 3 players in the wall for Lebanon. It's a long way out, isn't it? De Lima, it's come off the wall, and that'll be a corner. Well, you can't fault him for ambition there, Fabio De Lima. And in the end, it was Felix Melki's head that diverted that ball behind. Banda Alababy over the corner then, on that far side. The opposite side of the ground to our commentary position. Just over 5 minutes gone in this second half. And overcooked, not for the first time with his right foot this evening. We saw a free kick from the UAE number 9 in the first period. Frustration on the sidelines for Van Marwijk. I wonder if you offered Ivan Hasek a point now, whether he'd take it. I think the answer probably is that he would. UAE's form has been good coming into this match. 6 wins on the trot and 7 games unbeaten. Lebanon, by contrast, have been a little bit more patchy. 2 wins in their last 7. The most recent encounter was in June against Djibouti. Home game where they secured a 1-0 win. Prior to that, 2-1 loss against South Korea and 3-2 loss to Turkmenistan, both those games away. They've been on the road a fair bit, have Lebanon, in the recent past. Salmin, Majid Hassan, Walid Abbas, Shaheen Abdul Rahman, De Lima. Oh, that's a casual pass given away. Then in return, an equally casual piece of distribution by Nada Mata, returns the compliment. Both sides guilty of squandering possession. And Mohamed Haider goes down again. Ali Salmin, the guilty party on this occasion, and the referee just saying, cut it out, please. Let's have a look. Well, that's something and nothing really, isn't it? And that's exactly the point that Ali Salmin is making. Long ball forward, looking for Basil Girardi, didn't find him. Haider tackled. Good work from Felix Melki. Hassan Martouk out on the wing. That's not really where Lebanon want him to be. Ali Salmin switches the play to this near side. De Lima. He's got Alababy on the overlap, but he cuts back inside. Caio Canedo. Alababy now gets the ball. Whips it in again with his right foot. Unable to attack it though, and that's coolly done by Abbas Assi to let the ball go over his head. Mabkout. Towards Mabkout, but Alex Melki clears. Free kick to the UAE. Mahmoud Khamis tumbling over and over under challenge. Basil Girardi, the man making that challenge, and again, something and nothing really. Just coming together, you'd have to say, but the referee felt that Mahmoud Khamis was more sinned against than sinning. So we're just over 10 minutes gone in this second half. The UAE have another opportunity to get the ball into the danger area. Mahmoud Khamis, the man who was fouled, and Banda Alababy over the ball. It's going to be Alababy again with his right foot. He's going to see if he can whip this in at pace. Thinks about a short square ball. Let's whip it in. Oh, and it's flicked off the defender's head, and in the end it's gone for a corner. Really dangerous ball, that. Kassim El Zain stayed down. In fact, it came off Abbas Assi in the end. Delicious delivery and well defended. Collision between De Lima and Kassim El Zain. El Zain just cramping up a little bit, just landing awkwardly. Coming together with both players having only eyes for the ball. Many of Lebanon fans have made their way in here, or as many as have been able to do so. Remember the last time these two sides met in this country in a World Cup qualifier in Abu Dhabi back in 2012. Lebanon lost 4-2. The UAE, by the time that match was played, couldn't make any progress in the competition, so there was, well, virtually no UAE fans in the ground. And the whole of half of the stadium was filled with Lebanon fans. They all left disappointed in one sense, in that they lost 4-2, but they progressed to the next stage of qualifying. And the good news is that Qasim Al Zain is walking off, albeit a little bit gingerly. So hopefully he's going to be okay to continue. And in the meantime, it's going to be a corner to the UAE. Banda Alababy and Fabio De Lima over the ball. It's going to be Alababy who will take the corner. Right-footed to the near post. Cleared reasonably comfortably by Lebanon. Mohamed Haider it was in the end who hooked it clear. Coming short to receive. Shaheen Abdul Rahman to his near side. Mahmoud Khamis down the line, looking for Keo Canedo. Good turn by Girardi. In fact, there's going to be a yellow card here, and Girardi's the recipient of it. I think it might have been just for kicking the ball away. Let's have a look here now. Pull on the shirt as well. So 2 bookings for Lebanon. Girardi joining Felix Melki on a yellow card. Abbas. His debut way back in 2009. He's been given away carelessly. Girardi felt he was fouled there, nothing given. To this near side, De Lima. That's behind Alababy. And cleared by Alex Melki. Rhythm to this second half as yet, an hour gone. Both sides just struggling to impose themselves a little bit at the moment. De Lima for the run of Mabkout, which just hit the back of Alex Melki. Slightly fortunate for Lebanon, but they'll take it. Now Girardi can move forward at pace. He's got runners either side. Mabkout making the forward run, and a good tackle in the end. Really well timed that by Abdullah Hamid. A good ball out of defence. Finds Banda Alababy on this near side, below our commentary position. Both coaches, I'm sure, with more than an hour gone, will be contemplating when to introduce fresh legs. Mahmoud Khamis. It's off the defender on that far side. Abbas Hassi. That will be another corner for the UAE. UAE dominating the corner count. We're still scoreless here at the Zabil Stadium in Dubai. There's confirmation of what I said. 7th corner coming up for the hosts. Lebanon just having the one. Khamis then. The left back will take this corner, an outswinger. 6 UAE players in and around the penalty area, and headed away by Basil Girardi. Mohamed Haider. Quick break perhaps now for Lebanon. Hassan Martouk streaming forward is Girardi. On this near side, he's made space. Couldn't get any power behind the shot. Good break that from the visitors. And back come the UAE. Well, That's a lovely ball by Mahmoud Khamis to Keo Canedo. Alex Melki conceding the throw-in. Abdullah Hamid to Shaheen Abdul Rahman and Alababy. De Lima. Khalid Abbas to the far side to Majid Hassan. Mahmoud Khamis again. A give and go from him. Cleared at the near post by Lebanon. Inventive stuff though from the hosts. Good defending in the end from Giuno Mari. Second oldest player in this Lebanon side, 33, behind his captain Hassan Martouk. De Lima. Abu Salmin. Play switch to the far side. And again, the outlet is Mahmoud Khamis. Catches the back of Mohamed Haider. The call is shoot. Oh, it was a rasping shot as well from Ali Mabkout. Just wide. I think Mustafa Mata had it covered. Mabkout finding himself out on the left. Goodness me, didn't he hit that well. Just off target, though. So I think if it had sneaked inside the post, Mustafa Mata still have been in territory to make the save. Mustafa Mata, 25 years of age. It is Lebanon debut against Yemen in 2019 in the West Asian Football Federation Championship in Iran. Once again, it's the UAE, as was the case in the first half, dominating possession, as you'd expect of a home team, particularly in this sort of stage of a qualifying campaign. A reminder, 6 teams in each of the 2 groups, which are made up of the 12 sides remaining in this AFC World Cup qualifying campaign. Top 2 teams in each group go forward automatically to Qatar 2022. 2 sides that finish in 3rd place in the group. 2 groups will then have a one-off playoff match to determine which of them goes forward to an intercontinental playoff. The winner of that intercontinental playoff is one of the sides from the other confederations that will make their way to Qatar. Keo Canedo. Banda Alababy. De Lima. Nicely read by Hassan Saad, who's back on defensive duty. They're dropping deeper and deeper, Lebanon. Just need to be careful. Don't invite too much pressure on themselves. Banda Alababy gets away from Hassan Saad. In the end, that's a really good block by Qasim El Zain. De Lima almost found its way through to Keo Canedo at the back post. Good work from Nada Mata. Can Lebanon break now? Girardi checks back. A couple of substitutes waiting to come on for Lebanon. You see at the bottom of your screen there. First changes of the evening. In fact, there's going to be a change for the UAE as well. Abdullah Ramadan, the Al Jazeera player, is waiting to come on for them. In fact, changes are about to happen as Mustafa Mata gets some treatment. The first change then, we'll see Basil Girardi come off. And Rabi Antea come on. And also coming off, Joan Amari. In fact, it's not Joan Amari. You can see it's Hassan Martouk who makes way. So an indication perhaps that what we have, we hold, is the attitude. And Abdullah Ramadan, he makes his way on for Abdullah Hamid. So Omar Gale comes on in place of his captain, Hassan Martouk. Gale plays his football in the UK for Sutton United, actually born in Berlin. Defensive work from Qasim Al-Zain, shepherding the ball out. It's landed awkwardly. Getting his body between De Lima and the ball, and getting a sore left shoulder for his trouble. In fact, a free kick's been given as a result of that challenge by De Lima. Number 20, Rabi Antea, plays his football in Kedah in Malaysia. He's on loan at the moment from Ahed. Actually won the league with Ahed in 2019. His Lebanon debut way back in 2012 against Egypt. He's got 5 goals for the national team. Can he make it 6 this evening, the 32-year-old? Abdullah Ramadan has come on for the UAE, number 18. Slight demotion for him because he started all 4 matches in June of this year that took place here at the Zabeel Stadium. There he is on the ball now. Debut did Abdullah Ramadan for the national team, the 23-year-old, at senior level, in closing stages of Bert van Marwijk's first spell as UAE coach in the Gulf Cup of Nations in Qatar, the back end of 2020. It's the man who's taken over the armband, Mohamed Haider. He's dispossessed, though, by De Lima. Opportunity for Mahmoud Khamis. He's closed down quickly, though, by the substitute Ataya. Abdullah Ramadan. The league champion side, Abdullah Ramadan, Al Jazeera. Mahmoud Khamis checks back. Just 18 minutes to go then, plus whatever time the officials add on. UAE regard this as 2 points dropped if they can't get a win here this evening. It stays like this. Headed away by Alex Melki. Pinedo, well tackled, dispossessed by Hassan Saad, who's playing in a much deeper role in the second half. And they're coming together between two players, the substitute Attaya and Ali Salmin. For the first time, the referee having a chat with Ali Salmin. You see he's caught the ball, but unfortunately for him, between the ball and himself was the man. Tackling from behind, very much frowned upon by officials these days. Great to see a crowd in here this evening, 60% of capacity. As the UAE wants to move beyond the COVID-19 pandemic. Throw on this near side, Qasim El Zain. Well-organised performance this from Lebanon so far. Can they see it out and get the point? Or perhaps something more. They've benefited from a little bit of profligacy in front of goal by the UAE. Majid Hassan. De Lima. Ramadan, the substitute. Ali Mabkout, who'd come deep to receive, gets it again, tries to thread the ball through to De Lima, can't find him. UAE next in action in 5 days' time, an away game against Syria. That match will take place in Amman, in Jordan. Lebanon, we've got the trip to South Korea to come in 5 days' time. Free kick, but that will have to wait because both teams will get the opportunity now for a water break. And I'm sure both sets of coaches will be very happy to have a word with their players. Ivan Hasek, he certainly can't fault the effort of his team thus far. Van Marwijk, it's been a frustrating evening for the hosts. They've had chances, they haven't taken them. But all of those really good chances, you have to say, came in the first half. There hasn't been an awful lot of goal-mouth action in the second period. And that's a lot of credit to Lebanon and the way they've gone about their business. It's been a frustrating second half for the UAE thus far. They know the importance of this match against the side that's the lowest ranked in the FIFA rankings in this group. Lebanon fans who've made their way in here this evening, they'll be happy. The UAE fans perhaps less so. This really has been a fortress for the UAE in the recent past, this venue. 4 successive wins they had here in June to end their World Cup qualifying campaign against Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia and Vietnam. Nothing less than 4 wins would do to see them top of their group in the previous stage. Round 2, they got those 4 wins. They've come into this qualifying round, and there's Sebastian Tagliabue on the sidelines, veteran Argentinian striker, scorer of over 150 goals domestically in the UAE. Last year he achieved UAE citizenship, and I just wonder if Bert van Marwijk is thinking of rolling the dice and giving him an opportunity in these last 13 minutes or so. Just need to change things around somehow, the UAE, because they're not creating an awful lot now, certainly not in comparison to what they did in the first half. It's a good bit of defensive work from Banda Alababy. Cushioned header back to Shaheen Abdulrahman. Walid Abbas. checks back. Time certainly not the UAE's friend now. Majid Hassan. Ramadan trying to jink his way through, but the Lebanon defensive lines are well organised. That's a lovely ball down the line for Al-Baby. The cross disappoints. Delightful stuff that from Ali Salmin. Al-Baby had space to run into, but he couldn't measure the delivery. Back to Walid Abbas. He's under a little bit of pressure there from Ataya, the substitute. Lebanon, in fact, win the ball. They've done well. And down goes Ataya, and a challenge from Keo Canedo. And in fact, the free kick's gone the other way. Referee none too impressed with Ataya going down. In fact, you can see Ataya getting a booking for simulation. So that's 3 players who've been booked now for Lebanon. Felix Melki, Girardi, and now Ataya. Al-Baby, who's not had the influence on this second half down the right that he did in the first. Majid Hassan finds Ali Salmin. Al-Baby, De Lima. Walid Abbas. Abdullah Ramadan, the substitute. Trying to thread the ball through, and he almost succeeded for the run of Mahmoud Khamis. Lebanon happy to take their time. As I mentioned earlier, in this second half, if you offered them a point, they would grab it with both hands. If you look at the respective form of these two sides coming into this match, Bert van Marwijk said beforehand the UAE's preparation had been good. It's not reflected in the scoreline at the moment. It's their time for late drama, though. Remember, Lebanon, in 12 previous meetings between these two teams, have won just once. 7 wins for the UAE and 4 draws. Shaheen Abdullah. Banda Al-Baby. Mass ranks of the Lebanon defence, though, closing down quickly. Oh, and a missed kick by De Lima. The opportunity presented itself. It was a half chance, and now Lebanon can break. Down the line goes Mohamed Haider. Picks out the substitute, Bugail. A wrestling match between him and Majid Hassan. And it's Lebanon who win the free kick. They wanted to take the free kick quickly to Lebanon, the referees having none of it. It's a free kick in a fantastic position. Majid Hassan conceding it. Mohamed Haider, the man who's taken the captain's armband from Hassan Martouk, is over the ball. A couple of players in the UAE wall. It's in a position not dissimilar one where Bandar Al-Habibi had a free kick in the first half and squandered the opportunity. This one, though, is going to be taken left-footed by Mohamed Haider. Again, the referee making the point to the men in the wall: don't lift your arms. If you do, I'm going to give a penalty. Free kick to Lebanon then. Whipped in towards the back post, overcooked. But Attaya, the substitute, can keep it in. Jinking around, gets the cross in. And in the end, the referee's whistle goes. A bit of pushing. Guile is penalised. You see a little bit of a shove in the back there on Shaheen Abdul Rahman. Another change coming. Majid Hassan makes way for the UAE. Second change for them. The man coming on, Khalfan Mubarak, the Al Jazeera midfield man. Scored against India in the 2019 Asian Cup that took place here in the UAE. With 3 starts in those matches in June. Another change as well in the offing by Bert van Marwijk. He's readying Khalifa Al-Hamadi, Khalfan Mubarak, the Al Jazeera player. Al-Hamadi, who made 2 substitute appearances in those June internationals on this ground. Beguile conceding the free kick. Khalfan Mubarak spreads the play out to the far side. It's been an outlet all evening for the UAE. Mahmoud Khamis on the left. Ramadan back to Khamis. A give and go from Khamis. A shot comes in, it's blocked. Mabkut with the shot, that's kicked away as well. A bit more urgency from the UAE as we're in the last 5 minutes of normal time. Ramadan. Keo Canedo, shot from distance. Well dealt with by Mustafa Mata. Might have sneaked in at that near post. As you're watching this replay, there's a Lebanon player down with what appears to be cramp. As they're readying another substitute as well. Looks like Hassan Chato, the man known as Moni, is about to come on. And you can vote for your future star. Check out AFC Asian Cup on Twitter. Frustrating evening for the hosts then thus far. Can they get the extra 2 points right at the death? Think, says Van Marwijk, think. Looks like Tanoun Al-Zaibi is going to be coming on as well for the UAE. We wait to see what changes will take place for both teams. We're obviously going to have some time added on at the end of the 90. We had 4 minutes extra at the end of the first half. 2 changes then for the UAE. So Khalifa Al-Hamadi comes on. Fabio De Lima, who's run himself to a standstill this evening, he's coming off. So Khalifa Al-Hamadi on. Also on Tanoun Al-Zaibi. other player coming off. Shaheen Abdul Rahman, so they're going for broke a little bit here. The UAE taking off one of their central defenders. The tire goes down as Lebanon contemplate a double change themselves. Say Hassan Moni Cheto about to come on. This confirmation of what I was saying a little earlier. Ali Mabkut, the top scorer in these qualifiers so far. 11 goals in round 2, but he hasn't found the net this evening. He's had 3 good opportunities, hit the post with 1. Mohamed Haider. Down he goes under challenge. No free kick. Play on, says the referee. Ali Mabkut has got a runner in front of him. He loses possession. Tanoun Al-Zaibi was the man who was making that run. And then Mustafa Mata puts the ball out of play. And that's an opportunity for Lebanon to make their changes. Nada Mata is coming off, and Hassan Moni Cheto is going to replace him in the other change. We'll see Walid Shur come on. He makes his way onto the ground. Mahmoud Khamis with the cross. Oh, and the substitute, Walid Shur, concedes the corner. Lebanon absolutely convinced that ball didn't go over the line. And it's all sorts of bedlam and pandemonium. But at the end of it all, we're going to get that corner headed away at the near post. Overcooked. Tanoun Al-Zaibi can't keep it in play. Minimum of 4 minutes to be added on then at the end of the 90. Can Lebanon come away with what would be an excellent point? Can they maintain their concentration? Chance now for a run for Bugail. With Mahmoud Khamis, who's been so lively down that left-hand side all night for the UAE. Tries to find Keo Canedo, no free kick given. Ali Salmin finds Khalfan Mubarak. It's going to put an awful lot of pressure on the UAE. If it stays this way, they'll feel they'll need to get 3 points in their next game against Syria just to redress the balance. It's by no means an easy task. Mahmoud Khamis again, cuts inside. What are his options? Khalfan Mubarak, Mahmoud Khamis, trying to fashion space for a cross. Dispossessed in the end, though. Good defensive work from Ataya, the substitute who's gone down. Play on, says the official. Tackles flying in. In fact, I said a minimum of 4 minutes to be added. In fact, confirmation has just come through. It's a minimum of 6. Oh, so well done. That really was terrific work by Bugail. And in the end, Moni Cheto couldn't take advantage. Now, Al-Ababi bursting forward. Continues his run. Tanoun Al-Zaibi trying to burst between two players. The referee's whistle is gone, but it's gone because Mohamed Haider is down on this near side with what looks like a very significant bout of cramp. He's in a great deal of pain. Look at that. No surprise though. Really punishing conditions here. This is why he is down. Flying tackle, and then you can see the cramp took effect. It's been lively this evening down the right, hasn't he, Banda Alababy? But just on a couple of occasions, he's just lacked a little bit of composure. There was the free kick in the first half and an opportunity to deliver the ball into the penalty area in the second, both of which just needed a little bit more quality, and he didn't produce it. Frustration for that man there. It's been a difficult evening. Let's have another look at that incident that brought about the cramp. Flying challenge from Mohamed Haider, and there it looks as though he's been shot from the stands, feeling the effects. So he's had to go off, and Hilal El Helwi has come on in place of Mohamed Haider for the last couple of minutes. Hilal El Helwi, 26 years of age. Fairly experienced. 3 goals in this qualifying campaign, and that's good work. Mustafa Mata read that well, came flying out to get to the ball ahead of Ali Mabkut, and now he's saying he's got cramp. The UAE fans very frustrated at what they see as delaying tactics. Certainly a coming together there between Ali Mabkut and the goalkeeper. The UAE fans making their opinions crystal clear in the stands. They think Lebanon are trying to run the clock down here. I'm sure it's all being taken into account by Manning, the referee. To the last minute of the 6 minimum to be added on then at the end of this match. Keo Canedo on that far side. Can he fashion a cross? Oh, he's done well to get the ball back to Kamis. The cross comes in, hooked clear by Qasim El Zain. He's been a defensive rock this evening for Lebanon. Time ticking away for the UAE. They need to get the ball into the danger area. Walid Abbas. Lebanon will be happy to be seeing the UAE playing in that part of the pitch. Khalfan Mubarak. Long raking diagonal ball headed away by Qasim El Zain. Referee's whistle goes, and that's a free kick to Lebanon. Is that the last opportunity for the UAE done and dusted? Referee on this near side telling some of Hasek's technical staff to get out of the edge of the pitch, the edge of the technical area. So we've played that minimum of 6 minutes. How much more have we got on the cards? Referee's whistle goes. Hilal El Helwi is penalised. Is there one last chance for the UAE here? Doesn't look like it, does it? It's not happening for them this evening. Ramadan. Al-Zaibi. Banda Alababy. Towards the back post. Canedo's there. And that is the final whistle, and that's a terrific point for Lebanon. 2 lost points, you feel, for the hosts, the UAE. It's early stages, of course, in this 3rd round of qualifying for Qatar 2022. The road to Qatar is a long one, but the Lebanon side have started it with a positive point. The UAE, frustration for them. They hit the post in the first half through Ali Mabkut, and Keo Canedo put over from close range at the back end of that first half, but they created very little in the second half, it has to be said. 3 players in the book for Lebanon. The closest they came to scoring was their captain Martouk, who forced an early save from Ali Kashif. But Ivan Hasek, the new coach of Lebanon, will be very happy indeed with that point. It's been a hard-fought contest, but at the end of it, it's finished. The UAE 0, Lebanon 0.
محمد حيدر نقول يعطيكم العافيه، جهد كبير قدم المنتخب اللبناني في ظل الظروف الصعبه اللي مرت، المعطيات اللي صاحبت المنتخب منذ وصوله في 23 من شهر اغسطس، لكن قدر يحافظ على المجموعه، قدر يحافظ على الحضور الجماعي، وتكلل هذا الامر اليوم بالخروج بنقطه والمحافظه على نظافه الشباك.
اول شيء بدي اقول هارد لك لمنتخب الامارات، لانه اكيد هن كانوا مطالبين بالفوز، لانه المباراه على ارضهم، منتخب كبير، اكيد منا مباراه سهله كانت لنا. بدي اقول مبروك لمنتخب لبنان على الاداء الجيد بروح ايطاليه. انت سبقتني قلت ظروفنا صعبه كانت، ما بدي اعدها لانه كل صارت معروفه. بالنهايه هيدي كره القدم، يمكن الله اكرمنا بنقطه افضل من ولا شيء.
على المستوى الشخصي قدمت واحد من اجمل المباريات بحضورك في خانه الظهير، في خانه الجناح، في منتصف الملعب بعد التغييرات اللي اجراها الكابتن ايفان هشك. تعليقك ايضا على المردود الشخصي اللي قدمته اليوم.
الحمد لله، يعني دائما نحن بنطمح لنكون من افضل من مباراه لمباراه. اليوم كنا عم نلعب بطريقه جماعيه بروح ايطاليه، ما في ولا لاعب قصر اليوم، كل الشباب يعطيهم العافيه. وبدي كمان اتشكر جمهور لبنان اللي كانوا مواكبنا اليوم، صرنا زمان ما شفنا جمهور لبناني، يعني ما قدرنا نعطيهم 3 نقط اليوم، بس بنوعدهم ان شاء الله المباريات الجايه بنقدر نحاول 3 نقط.
5 ايام وتفصلكم مباراه قادمه ويا دوب يعني، ورحله بتكون الى كوريا الجنوبيه.
هلا الليله مسافرين نحن، بغض النظر عن مباراه ضد مين، هي رحله شاقه حتكون، لانه لتروح على كوريا الجنوبيه، خاصه بظل ظروف جائحه كورونا عم نعاني كثير، وكل كان صار بيعرف انه هون حتى في 6 لاعبين اصيبوا بكورونا، والله يستر شو ناطرنا بكوريا الجنوبيه.
محمد يعطيك الف عافيه على الجهد الكبير وتسهلوا لنا.
شكرا حبيبي.
ايضا على الجانب الاخر تعادل، مباراة كانت صعبة فيها تفاصيل كثيرة، لكن كنا نتأمل أكثر من التعادل.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أول شيء أقول الحمد لله رب العالمين على النقطة، ولكن مش طموحنا احنا، مش طموحنا النقطة، حاطين هدف واضح اللي هو أي مباراة في ملعبنا نطلع بالنقاط 3 أو ما نخسر ولا نقطة في ملعبنا، ولكن قدر الله ما شاء فعل. نتمنى أن ما نخلي هاي المباراة تكون نقطة سلبية علينا، ناخذها احنا كلاعبين، بناخذها اكيد بتكون دافع معنوي حق المباريات الجايه. كلنا حاسين عارفين، يمكن الهدف اللي حاطينه ان المباراه اي مباراه في ملعبنا نطلع بالنقاط 3. اشكر الجمهور اللي ما قصر، حضر المباراه وآزر من اول دقيقه لين دقيقه 97 تقريبا، ولكن ان شاء الله نوعدهم القادم يكون افضل باذن الله.
الى اي مدى تتفق معي ان يمكن مدرب المنتخب اللبناني ايفان هشك استطاع ان يلعب بتنظيم مناسب في منتصف الملعب وخلانا نروح ونلعب على الاطراف، وفي الاطراف اجادوا المدافعين اللبنانيين في قراءه الكرات العرضيه؟
شوف بالعكس، اذا انت تشوف اليوم المباراه احنا ضيعنا وايد، اذا الكور اللي ضيعناها سجلناها يمكن الكلام كله بيتغير، الكل ما بيقول ان المدرب عرف كيف يسكر، ولكن كره القدم بهذه الطريقه انت تسكر في في العمق وتتصرف من العرضيات، فهذا شيء طبيعي. يمكن عندنا احنا اكثر عن حل وحاطين هاي السيناريوهات ان اذا الفريق كان متكثف في العمق نشتغل في العرضيات، ولكن انا اتمنى ان شاء الله ما نخلي هذه المباراه يكون شيء سلبي علينا، بالعكس سبحان الله مرات يقول لك ترجع خطوه عشان تنطلق لقدام، ولكن ان شاء الله القادم بيكون افضل باذن الله.
علي خصيف شكرا جزيلا لك، واكيد ننتظر المزيد في قادم الايام من الابيض.
يعطيكم العافيه ومشكورين.
شكرا.